Hello and welcome back. We're on lesson 195, which says, Love is the way I walk in gratitude. Me and Karina were both like, Oh, I love this so much. My heart is tingling. It feels good. This lesson is about choosing to move through life with love and appreciation, even when it's hard. Not because everything is perfect, but because you've decided that your energy is precious and that, as we spoke about in all of the previous lessons, right? You cannot serve two masters. You're either feeding fear with your precious energy or you're feeding love with your precious energy. And I know which one feels better. And I know you do too, right? And gratitude isn't about pretending that everything's fine, right? We're not saying spiritual bypass the shit that you're going through. We're not saying don't acknowledge the things that you're going through and feel what you know, don't avoid your feelings, but we are saying you can have appreciation for the creation, right? And this is one of my things, like even when it is, and I think I said this previously, even when it is a shit show, I can still have appreciation for the creation because I'm like, damn, gosh, that's good. That got me good. Like I remember I had a huge row with my mum and I almost like it sounds crazy, but when I came out of it, like I was immersed in the moment, and then when I stepped away, and I was like, "Ooh, that was quite fun." And I don't mean to say fun, but because I realized that it was just an experience, like, and I wasn't defined by that experience, and I didn't need it to mean anything more than it was in that moment, right? The only reason that we think things are so bad and we create our own pain and suffering is because we hold narratives and stories about the things that have happened, right? Whereas if you can appreciate whatever has happened for whatever reason because it's always serving you, remember, reality is always serving you, then of course you can have some like gratitude and love for that experience because as we've said previously, it's shaped you to become the woman that you are today. Like I spoke to my parents about, you know, and I know I'm not alone. We didn't have the easiest childhood, but I've said to them, I'm actually grateful for my childhood because I understand this and this and that. And like my relationships that I've been in before, I'm grateful for that because otherwise I wouldn't have gone on my healing journey. And if I hadn't gone on my healing journey, I wouldn't have created a bloom and then I wouldn't have connected. Like this is the thing. We can never see the full picture when we're only looking at one puzzle piece. But when you've walked a couple of steps or a few chapters or even if gone through a few books, you can connect the dots looking back and have appreciation for it all because it's all shaping you. And yeah, rather than having to wait, years down the line to have gratitude and appreciation for it, by us understanding everything that we're understanding in this course, we get to have gratitude for it in that moment, or maybe not necessarily in that moment, but certainly a lot sooner, right? Than reflecting, how many of us have been in situations where we wish we could have told certain people certain things but didn't get the opportunity, right? I know I've been there. And that was me holding on to resentment, judgment, anger. Whereas if I had found forgiveness, peace, love, I would have been able to. I mean, I trust that everything happens for a reason, but I can honestly say that it is within everybody's interest to find love and gratitude for every single thing, right? Because there's no separation. When you forgive yourself or another, like it's one and the same. So regardless of how hurt you are in any moment, you know that hurt people, right? Nobody is ever actually, we understand the true essence of who we are. No one was made that way. So it's their life experiences that have shaped them to be that way. And you can find love for the core of them, right? We're not saying find love for their masks or their identity has become this horrible person or whatever. Find the love for the core of them. Find the love for the God within them, right? And that's how you find your strength. And it's you saying, I see the good. I see the good in them. I see the good in this, right? And that allows you to see life through the lens of love rather than through the lens of fear. Over to you, Karina.
Gratitude has such a I think I've spoken about this before here, but gratitude has such a special place for me because it really did pave the way and make everything that is today possible. I guess I want to start by first saying I've noticed a lot of like consciousness teachers, spiritual teachers. I've seen it happen quite a bit. And I've been in a few containers where there's been a dismissal of gratitude. Like, oh, they teach gratitude, but really that's just like keeps you more in a trap or whatever. But it's not that that's true. It's because that there's a misunderstanding of gratitude, right? Because words can be used differently in different contexts. There's a misunderstanding of gratitude and what it means. So when you're using gratitude, as a means to get what you want. Not that it can't happen. Gratitude is a tool to manifest, but when you use it as a means to get what you want, that is you're saying it like an exchange, like I have to do something in order to get what I desired. I have to do something in order to be healed. I have to do something to be okay. And that's where the trap is. But the gratitude that we're really talking about here is not about that. It's like Sammy said, there is no separation. What you give, you receive. What you give to others, you receive. So gratitude and love are one. It's the symbiotic dance of being in love and being in gratitude. Gratitude is about recognizing love, recognizing that the little gems and everything that is. It's about um it's about loving the fact and being in gratitude that there is no separation. It's about recognizing that all is available to you and being grateful for it. It's a blooming of love in the heart. That's what it feels like for me. It's this blooming of love in the heart. Some other ways gratitude I feel like can be not, I guess it's not necessarily misused, but used as a tool instead of as its true purpose is um, is saying, oh, actually, no, I would actually put this in the term of misuse, is when you say, oh, well, I should be grateful, at least I should be grateful that I have a roof over my head because it could be worse, because other people don't have roofs over their head. That's a misuse in gratitude because you're still, it's like almost fear. You're using it from a fear-based place of like, if I don't feel grateful for the little things I'll have, I'll never get the bigger things, or maybe I'll be subject to the little things, you know? So it's not about saying, well, I should be grateful for this because it could be worse, or I should be grateful for this because anything could be taken from me. And it's also not about like, okay, well, if I give this gratitude, I'm going to receive this thing because see how that's saying I have to earn this, not I already am this and it's available to me. So true gratitude and using it in this beautiful way that it's meant to be used is as an expression of love and appreciation. Just an expression of love and appreciation. All is available to you. And by being in gratitude, both for finding the gems in what's arisen now, for finding the gems in what has arisen, what you've experienced in the past, and finding the gems for the excitement about experiencing the future. Yes, beautiful things will appear, but you're having this beautiful symbiotic communication with creation itself, and it's an expression of love. So you are giving gratitude and receiving gratitude, and you are giving love and receiving love. Love and gratitude are natural expressions of a healed mind. Again, it's not something when you have a healed mind, it's not something you have to force. It just arises naturally. It's like, oh my gosh, that sunset's so beautiful. When you're in that space and your heart blossoms and you feel like Sammy was talking about like that tingly, that's gratitude, right? Or you're drinking, this is what I used to talk about when I used to teach gratitude a lot. I'm drinking my favorite tea and I'm like, oh my God, that tastes so good. And you're like, spirits rise and everything just like it feels like a blossoming of the soul of the heart. Well, that's gratitude. I'm not sitting there going, okay, I'm gonna force myself to be grateful for this cup of tea. It's just is, right? And we can anchor into it more, yeah. So this is the part where, it was a tool for me. I talk about often how I was in a really dark place and I was like being put in the hospital for panic attacks. I was severely depressed. Um I had suicidal thoughts and incidents, and I suffered from anxiety, and it was just a really dark place. And I pulled myself out of it with gratitude. And it sounds so like some people might think, oh, some people might think it sounds too easy or like maybe even superficial, but it's what I did. I mean, if people ask me, what did you do? That's what I did. And I'm somebody who says, if you need other tools along with that, like do what you need to do. Each person's journey is different, but I'm not going to pretend that there was some like, something else, because that's what I did. There was a decision I made where I can no longer live this way. And I said, well, what do I know that has worked for me in the past? And gratitude was the thing that I had experienced direct correlation of. When I devote myself to gratitude, I have significant changes in my life. And so I committed myself to gratitude in a way I had never done before. And of course, that led to other things, which included some emotional intelligence work and other things, but it was the gratitude that pulled me out of that pit. It was the gratitude that started raising my main state of being so I could have that base to do the other things, which then led me on my journey to where I am today, which we're not going to get into because this is supposed to be a short lesson. But I wanted to share that because I wanted to make sure I shared the misconceptions with gratitude, the ways in which this is used as a tool that becomes a trap, and then the truth about gratitude, that it is an expression of love, right? And that is what is being asked from you in this lesson, to utilize it and anchor into it in its natural expression. So that way you can experiencing the healing that is available through gratitude. Also, I want you to tie it into some of the stuff we've been talking about in the past, the forgiveness, right? So when you're looking upon the world and you're looking upon other people and you start seeing all these grievances or all these reasons to like criticize or judge or whatever, I want you to to shift into gratitude, utilize forgiveness and shift into gratitude. And that's going to be your practice today. Anytime you notice yourself holding grievances or seeing the world through these eyes of criticism, seeing the things that are wrong with it, utilize the tool of forgiveness and shift into gratitude. Try that throughout the day and see how things shift. I think that's it for me.
I love that so much. Thank you. And I remember reading a book once, and this guy said he just told himself that he loved himself over and over and over, everything. He just went, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And he said that's what cleared him. It's a book. It's not PS I love you, but it's something like I love you. It's like a gimmick on that. And he just says how he cured depression, completely changed his life just by declaring I love you over and over and over. And so yeah, like there's no right or wrong. And this is the beauty of something like Inner Bloom. There's an abundance of tools and resources to help you find your way. Like Karina always says, like the tools, you know, the tools and resources are creation itself, right? So if you need them to help you and support you in some way, then you use them, right? But don't don't force yourself to, because sometimes, sometimes it can feel more like a chore, can't it? And so we're not getting you to do things if it feels like a chore, but allow yourself to start being able to feel gratitude for things, right? Because there's thinking it and saying it, and then there's feeling it. We want you to feel it. Like Karina said, I love the blossoming in the heart thing. I really connected to that. It was so lovely. It's not just like a checklist. It's not a tick list. Oh, cool, thanks. No, we're embodying it. We're feeling it, right? That's something that I think so many women struggle with, is feeling. So don't look at it like a chore. Look at it as a good feeling to feel within you. And that's why you want to do it. But that's it from me.
I would like to add one little thing. And have I lost it? Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, the tools. So because I know that some people, this question, I know if the question has arisen for me in the past, it's probably arising for other people, because there have been lessons in here where it talks about, you talk about like the sugar pill and stuff like that, about how like, oh, those are all just e tools of the tools are like the ego believing in the illusion and to release it because all things are possible just through shift in perception. But here's the thing. I still tell people like even if like when it comes to depression and like severe psychological issues, it's like medication can be a tool. Traditional therapy can be a tool like it's okay to use. The difference is you never want to think that the tool is ultimately the cure, right? It's like the training wheels on the bike. The training wheels are not the bike. The training wheels just allow you to be balanced on the bike while you're learning to ride. And then they can eventually come off or and it depends on the situation. So it's like if I make a checklist of gratitude the source of my happiness, then like Sammy said, it's going to become a chore and it's going to lose and I'm going to eventually probably slip back into whatever it was because it's not the real solution. It's just the training wheels to get me to a point, to get me to the next level, to get me to the next step. So the true source of all healing, the true source of all that you're seeking is discovering your true nature, is dropping the illusion of separation, is um, stepping away from the identification of the ego or the body, the emotional body, the physical body, and the mental body. So that way you no longer have to buy into the cycles of fear and suffering anymore. So those are the real solution is your true nature. The real solution is the releasing of the identification with the ego. These tools can help, but we never want to confuse them as the source. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's all.
Love that. Thank you. Perfect. Well, thank you, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.